Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different of a video. Instead of showing you gameplay, I'm going to show you my decks. So start with my European deck. I have, well, a fob, you can't see it. I use these French trucks because they're cheap and they hold 800, but they're 15. Compared to, this is 20. I mean, 5 more points, it does carry a lot more, but I don't know, just like it a little more. Because they're cheaper. For command, I have these Germans in a Fuchs Milan. And then I also have this German supply helicopter. For infantry, I have Jaegers with their H&K G3s. Their anti-tank, right? It's Panzerfaust? Basically Panzerfaust. And their MG3, which is basically a modernized MG42. 2 squads of them. Then I have also German Dergutsgruppe. I don't know how to say it. Sorry if I'm butchering your language. But these guys have Carl Gustav rockets and MP2A1s, which look like mini Uzis basically. And they also come in a Fuchs. Fuchs is a pretty good vehicle. Look at its stats later. I have 2 squads of them. I have these ATGM Milan F3s. They have FAMAS assault rifles and Milan 3 anti-tank rockets, or anti-tank missile. They come in this VAB T20 that has a 20mm autocannon, so you can lay down some supporting fire with it. 20mm is good. I also have some Legion. Not Legion 90, just Legion. It mainly comes down to the machine gun. It's got more range, which I figured was better than the 90s version. See, they still have the same FAMAS, even though they do have a... Well, actually, they have a better launcher, because it's more accurate than the Erics. So, you get a better machine... Well, it doesn't have as good a stabilizer, and it's not quite as accurate. But it has more range. It also has more range versus helicopters. Well, it actually has the same range versus helicopters. Accuracy. Yeah, see, accuracy. That's what you mainly want in a rocket launcher, because you don't want them to miss. Or missile launcher. And, they come in the VAB with the 20mm. And I also have Milan F2s, which are just, more... They're slightly worse versions of the F3. Support. Most of my support usually only doesn't really focus on artillery, but more focuses on anti-air, because jets and helicopters can be powerful. So I have these Flak Panzer Gepards. Yeah, twin 35mm radar rounds. Yeah, I got 2 things of those. I got some Roland 2s. Yeah, for my missiles. Yeah, for heavier missiles. I do have some artillery in this AMX 105. Yeah, pretty cheap, just little 105mm cannon. Yeah. Then I also have some Crotels. Because, you move these up with your main convoy and your first rollout just to give you some little air defense. Yeah. Now, for tanks, I don't really focus much on really powerful tanks. More of cheaper tanks that can get in with your good infantry. Just give them some support. Because these tanks are still good and can still do damage. But if you lose them, it's not as bad as if you really lose a really good tank. See, so I have these KPZ M48 A2G2s, which are basically M48s with with a different 105 than some other M48s in the game. they're not that great, but for 25 points, they can get the job done. Then I have these AMX harpoons, which are AMX 1390s or AMX 1375s with anti-tank missiles on them. Which for 25 points you get a cannon, missiles, and a machine gun. You know, with that speed, 110 road speed. Yeah, this is great if you want. This is a great to support some infantry. That's what. And then I don't really consider this a tank because tanks are supposed to have treads. But I got an AMX 10 RC. It's fast. It's got a good 105. That's all in the tanks for this one. And for recon, I got this VBL Mistral because it's got anti-helicopter and some anti-plane. Yeah, it's not that great because it's planes, but helicopters, yeah. And it's also got a machine gun. And it's fast, 150 on-road, 95, or off-road. Yeah, on-road 150, off-road 95. So yeah, it's fast, can get get the helicopters. And I got these, some Sonderwagons, which are sort of like the AMX 10 RC tanks, but they're pretty cheap. And for recon, 25 points, yep, they're pretty good. I also got some SPPZ. I don't know what that means. Sorry, I'm not versed in German. With they got a 20 millimeter and an MG3. They're fast on road, pretty fast off road, very good view range. They're pretty big. I mean, they're medium. Compared to this, it's real small. I have these guys, these Hussards 85. I got FAMAS and this anti-tank rocket. They got very good and very small, very good optics. They come in this Puma 330H Pirate with a 20 millimeter, so you can lay down some supporting fire for these. And then I have this thing, this VAB Rasset. Why? Exceptional view range. That is the best view range in the game. Exceptional. And you gotta have an exceptional one. Vehicles. I have this Flak Panzer M42A1, which is an M42 Duster. It's got, it's good versus everything basically. Ground can suppress infantry. Good versus helicopters. Not too good versus planes, but still accuracy's not that great. Poor optics. Poor, medium. 15 points. You get twin 40 millimeter autocannons. Yeah, they're cheap. They can do good. Yeah. Then I probably should focus a little differently. Like, instead of this, maybe. But no, I went with mainly all German stuff because I wanted basically basically anti-tank. Because a lot of people like to rush with tanks. So I have these Jaguar 2s, which have Tau missiles on them. Amazing range. Accuracy is good. A 60, that's pretty good. They're pretty fast. I also have these older ones. These have a little bit worse rockets. My main idea is that you put like these and this together so that these guys will basically fire their rockets. These guys will hit them longer range. Then as they get closer, oh wait, they have this. Yeah, as they get closer, this one will hit them with more. And then we got some weasels with Tau rockets, Tau 2s. If I was going to choose, actually, I don't really want the weasels because I don't have a cannon, and we're gonna choose these instead. Veteran status. Why Königsjägerpanzers? Because they're Hetzers. They're basically modern Hetzers. And, infantry support's the main idea. Helicopters, I don't use helicopters. Planes, I don't use planes. Oh, I don't use planes in this deck. So now we got, if we have a naval thing, because this is the reason why I got rid of the weasels, because if I can bring them in from the navy. And they got their Tau missiles. They're small. They're pretty fast. I can also bring in a lot of Rimas and their Vabs and some Jaeger. I don't bring in ships because I don't do 1v1s and 2v2s. Lowest I do is a 5v5. I don't like dealing with... All my decks are mainly for helping your allies. That's what these are, They'll move up their bigger tanks and you can support them with these missiles and stuff. Save those changes. Let's add the... This is my blue fur deck. Got a fob. You can't see it. We got this thing, the Nano Shanshiki CV. We have K51 cargoes, which basically 2.5 cargoes. 10 points. 500 liters. Yeah, they're cheap. Also got Chinook with supply helicopters. Infantry. Lots of infantry. CGO Bontai 90s. They're pretty good. They got their Hoa 89 Shiki, Carl Gustavs, and 62 Shikis, and they come in this Hachi Yu Shiki, which is basically a sort of like a Bradley or Warrior, Japanese Bradley or Warrior. I had 3 squads of them. I have some M67 Hans because they're great, recoilless rifle. 90mm heat rounds. Good versus a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of them. I also got some Go Bangs, which are napalm infantry. Not that special. And their transport's not kind of okay. Fast M2 Browning. UDT Seals. Special infantry coming a basically a Huey. Coming a Huey. I didn't choose a twin Huey. Because I don't know why. Support. Some more of those M42 Dusters. Except this one can't attack ground. It's just for anti-air. I didn't focus on very much support. I just got some 105 howitzers. Tank. A little bit more focus on tanks. A little bit. We got the K1s. These are... they're basically Abrams. Copy of Abrams. I got 105mm gun, an M2 Browning, and an M240. Basically the same thing as a Abrams. I got more of those M48s. M48s are always good. Different gun than was on the German ones. They're M48s. They're always good. And then I got some Nano Yanshiki Gs, which are, they have their Era armor. They come with a 40mm grenade launcher, which is really good versus infantry. You can hit them with the cannon and the grenade launcher. Recon. A CAF 90, which is a transport with a 90mm cannon put on top. It's got good view range, pretty fast, and not that expensive at 35. I got some recon infantry, some more recon infantry. These guys have submachine guns. More recon infantry. And then I got this, which is wheeled and has a 25mm on it. So you got I have a cannon scout, and I have a autocannon scout. Vehicles, lots of vehicles. M18 M18 Hellcats. Can never go wrong with the Hellcat. It's fast. Yeah, it's the Hellcat from World War II, anti-tank vehicle. Also got M36 Jacksons. Or Sluggers, depending on who you ask. Yeah, I just like them for nostalgia. I got Reno 106s, which are double barrel recoilless rifles. Gun trucks. Basically just trucks with quad mounted M2 Brownings. Why not? And I have this. Flamethrower unit. Yeah, no missiles, just all cannons. Uh, I've had some great fun with these. Just they're cheap. You get tons of them, and you can just mow down infantry. Helicopters. These Cobras with they got Vulcans, Hydras, and Tau missiles. Means they're great with everything. Don't use any planes. And Navy. I got this for anti-ship missiles. I got all the anti-ship missiles. And then I chose some monitor, Vietnam riverboats. Okay, it's that deck. This is a deck I made because one of my friends is an airborne. So I made an airborne deck. This is a TACCOM squad. I got, Super Chinooks. Infantry, lots of infantry. Got Rifleman 90s and a Huey. Lots of Rifleman 90s. I got a Delta Force and a Frog. It's got a minigun. I got Assault Engineers and a Black Hawk. Assault Engineers and a Black Hawk. LAD Stingers and a Black Hawk and another one in a Huey. I got Avengers. Just because that's the only thing you can pick. Tanks. Got M551 Sheridan, M551A1 Sheridans. They got cannons, missiles, Brownings, because they can 152 millimeter gun/launcher. And I also got one of the M8 AGSs. I haven't been too successful with these. Sheridans have always worked good. Recon. Rangers and a Chinook. A different type of Sheridan, Scout Sheridan, and V150 Commando with a 20mm. Vehicles. V150 Commando with a 90mm. Jeeps with Tau missiles. And V150 with a 76. Helicopters. Lots of helicopters, because this is an airborne deck. UH-1C Heavy Hogs, which are Hueys with just lots of guns strapped to them. It's got tons of missiles and a grenade launcher. Black Hawk with lots of missiles, minigun and a 30mm autocannon. Cobras with missiles and guns. Cobra with more missiles. Lots of missiles. These are basically just missiles on this one. And a regular hog. It's a Huey with missiles. Lots of missiles. For planes. A-10 Thunderbolt. Gotta have this. Tank killer. I got some Corsairs with napalm bombs. And I got a Nighthawk. Navy. Navy's funny because it lets you bring in things that your tech shouldn't be allowed to bring in. Like I can bring in these LAVs with 8 anti-tank missiles, a small squad in the Marines transport, some M48s, and then some M60 with arrows. Okay, that deck. It's gonna take a while, but I can do it. This is my Vikings deck. Scandinavia. Got this command. And a Jeep command. Yeah, just something simple. Cargo trucks, and a frog, which is basically a frog, or a HKP-4A. Infantry. These yep, these guys are really good with their AK-4s, their Carl Gustavs, and their KBS PM-58s. And this transport is really good. It's got twin cannons. Okay, we got Stormers. And these guys. These are Denmark. Oh, Norway. Denmark's a white flag. Yeah. Swedish, Denmark, Sweden, Denmark infantry. This vehicle's pretty good. Support. We got anti-tank or anti-helicopter missiles and some mortars. Not really good. Then tanks. Oh wow, I'm missing a bunch. Well, I guess we'll put in tanks. Well, might as well get some S-tanks. And bam. Bam. There, some anti-air. More anti-air. Okay, so we got M48 with 90 millimeters. These are old ones. And M24 Chaffies. Really cheap tanks. And now I just put in some S-tanks. Because why not? You could also get a Leopard, but... This M8 Panzerbill, or an M8 Greyhound. It's overpowered. Look at that rate of fire. 21 rounds per minute with a 37 millimeter. It's not autocannon, it's a cannon. I made a video about these. Also got these upgraded Chaffies. More M8 Panzerbills. Marine Jaegers. Some scout infantry vehicles. These things, IKV-91s. Got 90 millimeter guns. They're pretty fast. Also got these with really long recoilless rifles. Anti-tank. And then tower missile. No helicopters. And I only use this plane. Navy. You know, and all the anti-ship missiles and more of these things. Back. Quit. Save. Okay.